I want to thank you, our reader, for making 1851's growth really explosive over the last 30 days. We've actually brought on 30,000 readers onto this website, which is a great accomplishment considering a month ago we had 10. So thank you for being a part of this. We're trying desperately to give you the content that is going to cut through the clutter and give you something that is meaningful to you as a reader. We're using technology such as videos like this and the content below you to engage you in multiple forms. So thank you for being one of our readers. This is the Weekly Sizzle. One of the stories that I want to talk about this week are franchises targeting millennials as potential franchisees. Are millennials going to be the greatest franchisees that ever existed? We hope so. Are millennials great right now? I don't know. And I've written about this in the past, that they are used to having everything at their fingertips, and clearly in a franchise it's more about following a system and form than it is about being entrepreneurial. However, there is a percentage of millennials who could be very impactful for our economy and are very driven. One thing millennials have that is welcoming is energy. They want to succeed. They are used to being able to have scale. Look at technology today. You can take the iPhone and now how it's translating over to a watch. Things are changing, and perhaps the millennials are the right audience to follow. I find it interesting that you have millennials where parents have spent a boatload of money to get them through college and they're graduating and still not finding the job that they feel is going to be meaningful. They're coming out of college wanting to be at the top in many circumstances, and the reality is they have to work hard to get to the top. Working hard to get information might be something that my generation had to do, and that we had to go to the library to find out information. We couldn't just go on the internet. And your generation, perhaps the same. So the access to everything probably makes them a little bit different of a candidate. But if you can rein them in and teach them the way and show them that your brand is in fact scalable and they have the financial bandwidth to be successful, then they might be the next great franchisee. Another story that constantly is popping up is that of Smoothie King. It's a brand that's growing tremendously, and they have really owned the health category. There are many juice brands that are trying to go and take away market share from them, but they continue to thrive. I was watching ESPN last night and I saw their logo on the Pelicans Stadium at an NBA game. They are a brand that should be watched. And the thing that I find most interesting about a Smoothie King is there's still plenty of opportunity for them to grow. Even though they are a sizable brand, there are major markets where it is completely wide open, that an entrepreneur would be perfect for a market like that. That could be a brand where the millennials start taking over because health is meaningful, wellness is meaningful, and maybe that's a brand that could see a lot of growth in a younger demographic. Another story that has been popular this week is the popularity of better burgers, that they are still better. They are not going away. If you look through 1851, you'll find an awesome infographic on how the brands are competing in the space. And you can see that there's still tremendous room for growth. I think in today's world, every franchise brand competes for that same franchisee. Whether you're a restaurant, a service brand, a home-based brand, you're really looking for someone with financial bandwidth. It's about what is meaningful to them as an entrepreneur or as a prospect, and the burger category remains to have space. So it's interesting to see that those brands are still having growth. Right at Home just passed over its 400th location. There's a story on 1851 addressing that. What a great story. You have a great entrepreneur who saw a gap in the segment and pushed the pedal forward. Invested heavily in his leadership team, made sure he was bringing on the right franchisees, always looked forward in growth in the segment, and it worked. And there's a great success story of a brand that went from nothing to 400 units. 400 units is a lot. I think there's tons of brands that are really trying to get over that 100 unit mark, and they can't. That only 1% of brands can actually get over that mark. And when they do, they're able to catch some velocity. With velocity, there's no stopping them unless them themselves stop their growth. But Right at Home is a great success story in a very crowded senior care market that they were able to grow and add more franchisees and be successful as a brand. Then lastly, my column this week is about really, can you find that unicorn or not? And when someone tells you that they have all the answers in the world, whether or not to believe them. The reality is there is no silver bullet in franchise development. There is no silver bullet in being a franchisee. You cannot pop a logo on a building and instantly expect to make mounds of money. It just doesn't work that way. Hard work is the triumph in our country and in our world. That still those that get out there and get after it are the ones that are most successful. Now you have a lot of franchise consultants trying to help you, the franchisor or the soon-to-be franchisor, grow. They don't have all the answers, and if they tell you to put all your money in one basket, probably not the right basket to be putting all your money in. I find it sad that many brands become a franchise, file their FDD and expect to grow magically. And again, it doesn't work that way. A little bit of everything is how things grow. A little bit of everything is how you become a Right at Home, or how you become a Smoothie King, or how you become a great Better Burger franchise. So if you are thinking about franchising your business, if you are thinking of growing as a franchisor, if you are thinking of becoming a franchisee, make sure that you look at in several different areas for information and guidance before saying this is the only path that will work, because I don't think there's any get-rich-quick scheme that has ever worked. They might work temporarily, but if they're not sustainable, you will notice that very fast, and you will spend a lot of money chasing after that silver bullet. It doesn't exist. So obviously continue reading our website. If you're one of the 30,000, we greatly appreciate you, and hopefully in the next month or so we will continue to climb that number, and this will be a really cool publication that is crowdsourced, where you, the reader, are in charge of the information that you want to read. Thank you. It's another week in business, and there's more news. You're right. I was totally gonna screw up. Hold on. No, I mean, you can stop filming now. Oh!
That was my bad. I will own that one. I know, I'm sorry.
You just blew it.